Okay, so this is a continuation. I'm just going to do some outlining of things and then I'll zoom in. Some water drops. Now this will be a very light wash. This is just to get a location. So it's going to be just a light wash. I'll be adding more darks and lights to this. And then zoom in a little bit. Some of these will disappear. Hate this one already, so I know this one's going to be worked. That did not work at all. So while I'm drawing right now, I'm thinking of how am I going to get rid of that. But that's just the way things go. This is all going to be pretty much dark with a little light rim. It'll get darker too. Now I'm working very fast. Time constraints on a video. Obviously you can see some larger cattails here. I'm not gonna, but it'll go up. Maybe a double. Move it up a little bit. So there'll be a crisscross one. That'll be darkened and shaded. Now this will have more work down in here. I'm going to zoom in some so you can see some of the water drops here. So this is kind of a water drop splashing heavy drop. There's one right there that's doing the same thing. This still requires a lot more shading and blending. I'm going to freeze it there, which will take me a lot longer. I kind of went through this a little bit, so which means there's going to be a lot more work in here. Wanted to just do a quick scan. You can see there's still a lot more work, which nobody will see that. They may see, you may see the finished product just as something that will require a lot longer, and then it'll just be a one image thing. I also wanted to go into something I was working on before, my last project. So let me back up some. A lot of people might not see the difference, but I went into it and increased the detail by 300%. So I'm just going to come in here. Some of the things you might see that will look like there's more detail, but there is definitely more detail, more highlights, more shadows. So that was the last project. Finished that. That's on the border line that peaks over the halfway part. Pretty happy about that. So I'm saying about 95%. I'll always keep adding more. Okay, so this is starting of the blue butterflies. Been experimenting with color. This is going to take a lot longer because it's going to be multiple layers of building up. And then I'm going to shingle little dashes of color on top of this, just the way they would be, like shingles on a roof. If you ever have the opportunity to look at butterfly wings under a microscope, you'll find them crazy detailed. Anyway, so I'm going to bring in that a little bit. I'm just going to do a slight little demonstration. So right now it's a matter of just putting in colors, blending out colors, and it's just a slow process that will be built up. I know it looks counterintuitive to put colors on and take colors out, but it's a way of building up colors, but it's also a way of experimenting with colors to find the most intense part. Like I said, these will be put on my new painting, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So you can see me barely touching the colors. And this little tiny, they'll even get more intense with layers. Hopefully you can see the shingling process. Now, like I said, I wasn't a scientific illustrator, but I'm not going into the craziness of detail that I would normally do, because at this point in time I still have a tendency to do detail. It's just not to the maximum. It's just for my pleasure of painting. Hopefully you can see the tiny little shingling. I don't know how close you... I might have to get a little bit closer. So I'm not sure if you can see. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Hopefully you can see the shingling process there. Now what I'm going to do is come in with the outline of black. And the reason I'm not going full detail like a scientific illustrator, of which I used to be, it's not necessary in my private life. My private life just has pleasure of painting and painting whatever I want, which is something that every artist would like. Hopefully most artists. This is also salvation. It's a way of throwing out all the things of the world and just enjoying yourself, letting your mind go free. Hopefully you can see the colors now. I'm not sure you can. So I'm going to just enhance a little bit. I know some people may think this is actual scientific illustration. They are to a degree scientific, but in a more reasonable fashion. Scientific possibly with pleasure, more pleasure than anguish. Anyway, so I'm going to make several of them. I'm not sure if I'm going to use 3, 4, 5, 6. That is something that will be arranged on my painting, and then figure it out from there. And you can see the process, and you can see the building up. And this is going to have multiple layers building up. Anyway, so that's just the method to my madness. Okay, some more work. Doesn't mean they're finished, it just means I got layers going on. Okay, so I was talking about doing some design of some butterflies. I have a little bit of blue tape underneath, and that's just so they're not completely glued down yet. And I'll make some more, and I'll rearrange them in different locations. I'll rearrange them in different locations to see which ones work best for me. What angles. So they require a little bit more work and some different species, but overall I'm pretty happy with it. So this is kind of the about 85% finished things. The butterflies are not glued down yet because I will need to do more work on them. But just wanted to close this up so I can just take my time and finish this up. You can tell that nothing's on this side right here. But overall, kind of pleased. Hello, I'm Steve Melendres, a model maker, illustrator, scientific illustrator, sculptor, design natural history museum in Los Angeles. Done a lot of different things, but I'm going to be doing watercolor demonstrations of the techniques I've developed over the years, and it's going to go from a lot of different directions. And also I'm going to be doing videos, I call them video posters for my daughter, so a lot of stuff that I can leave to my daughter about her crazy dad. So I'm taking a lot of different directions, but mainly 3. So anyway, that's my introduction that I'm going to attach to everything I'm doing now, so I don't have to repeat this.